We've always heard that when the kids grow up and move out, the next step is to downsize, to find something smaller, more manageable. But there's actually a new trend, especially among Gen X empty nesters. Instead of downsizing, you guys, they're right-sizing. And here to explain what exactly that means and why it's happening is local realtor Barbie Armenta. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So glad to have you here. So tell me, what is right-sizing? How is it different from downsizing? And how do we know, okay, this is maybe a right trend for us?
Yeah. Well, we've always just assumed once the kids get out of the house that we're going to get something smaller. But what we're seeing is that people are getting more spaces that make sense. So maybe it's upsizing, maybe it's downsizing, or even we're seeing a lot of multi-generational living.
Oh, yes.
Bringing mom back in the house and things like that.
I like that. I like that. So why are we seeing so many empty nesters make this move, do you think? Why is it so popular right now?
Well, what we're finding is Gen X, my generation, is we may have aging parents, we might still have someone in high school, and then we also have kids that are growing up, they're getting married, they're having kids, and so we're looking for spaces that just make sense for where we are today.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I do think like Gen X is in a time period right now where they're shifting from being the caretakers of their children to then, like you said, being caretakers of their parents. And what does that look like for your home? So can you give us an example of what that might look like, right-sizing?
Yep. I love to share my story because for us it happened really fast. We had 3 weddings in 4 months.
Oh my gosh.
So,
wow.
Yes. We had all our kids get married and the last one graduated from high school and left the country to do missions. And so we were like, well, what do we want to do now? And so we looked at everything and decided to buy an 80-year-old house in Fort Worth and renovate it.
Really?
The space that I really cared about, because everyone's local, we didn't need all the bedrooms, but what we wanted was a big dining room and space for all the kids to come home and all the grandkids. And so it's just finding those intentional spaces that make sense for you.
And that mattered to you, maybe something that you've wanted for the last couple of years. Now's the time to get what you want.
That's right.
So beyond saving money, because obviously if you change your lifestyle a little bit, maybe you can save a little bit, a few more dollars in your budget. But what are some other lifestyle benefits?
Well, if you wanted to, this is your time and you want to travel. So you might want something with lower maintenance, less yard work, more lock and leave, so that it's just finding those intentional spaces that you still need, but you may not need the upstairs that no one goes in anymore.
Right. Okay, so this is hard, right? Because a lot of the times people have attachment to their homes. It's your safe space. It's your one part of the world that is yours. And so how do you go about leaving those strong emotional ties behind if you're moving somewhere different, or adjusting the home in a way where also it feels different because now the kids are not in the house anymore?
Yeah, it is very emotional, and we want to learn how to make space for the new memories while still having to let go of the old. And I was a life coach for the last decade, and so I've combined that with my real estate, and I offer a Brave Home Clarity Call. And so on that call, it's a little bit of love it or list it. It's just finding what's serving you, what's not, and we talk about all of it. And so maybe you'll move, maybe you'll renovate, or maybe you'll stay with a new perspective, but it's all about just getting clarity on what's next.
I like the fact that you have a clarity call, though, because change is hard for anybody. And it's like we're talking about the fact that change is happening for our kids or the people that we love, but also it's change that is happening for us. And so we need to take it in and take a second to realize what's going on around us. Because like you said, those emotional ties, they are strong and they're hard to let go of as well. So that call is incredibly important. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And if you guys want more information, or if you want to contact Barbie, all you have to do is go to brave1.net. We'll be right back.